maybe now and particularly down the road, not going to make folks happy, but I am on your side, and I say this so that you are equipped to, be as best prepared as you can be when you want to make whatever pitch or proposal. But, we talk about studying something, whether it's wave energy or salmon migration patterns or whatever that is, science is a theory. So you have this theory that this works, and you go out and you study it, and you can prove that theory or whatever, but then you also have to do the validation process, which also means usually a secondary study or a follow-up study. And those things do take time, and I know that there is an immense amount of motivation right now to solve this now and as quickly as possible. But I just would caution you that, when you are hearing some of the pushback where you're like, well, we would need to prove this or need to show that, and you're saying, well, we already have a study that does this or shows this. I think that just be prepared for folks who are wanting those validation points as well, and understand that, I think a real long-term solution to the erosion elements in the limit is likely to be a while in the making,
I guess I would also say along those lines that frequently professional judgment based on prior studies that make your point that aren't necessarily located in the Willamette River in our case are quite applicable to, coming to certain conclusions about the probability of something happening. So I think there are things out there that we can already use that kind of make our case, whether you're looking at the impact of turbidity on the benthic community and on, a range of fish species. That's just one example. So that's also good, but I think that's a fair point that you make as well.
No, I'm sure there's a lot of science out there that you can point to that's already been done as long as you can. And I believe that we were told that the decks that were used today are shareable. And in at least, I think, 2 of those, there's a list of sort of the elements that these guys identified as elements of the Willamette. And as long as you can find a study that replicates those same elements so that it's applicable, I'm sure there are studies out there that you can start with that have already been done.
So, question for the Oregon Marine Board. So, you made a change. This is a new change to the river. Any reviews of that change? Anything like that going on?
So I'd say that's one of our primary priorities for this summer. And we are, and I say this honestly, very appreciative of some of the work that Travis is doing and the work that Portland University is doing, because to back up the point that Malia just made, we are truly starved for information, good quality, objective, scientific information. At the Marine Board, that is not what we primarily do. We're not equipped to do that. We don't have the resources to do that. So we are doing quite a bit to evaluate use on the water. And we have been looking to others, frankly, and some of the people in this room, to try to supplement that with some information. I can safely, I don't know if board members can say this, but I can say that our board is committed to closely looking at the new rules. Did they work? Did they not? Should they be tweaked? Should we try a whole new approach? That is very much on the table, but we are in full-fledged information gathering mode at this time. There seems to be this perception that it's a problem that we're trying to run away from, and I can't say it more clearly that that's absolutely not the case. We're just trying to make sure that when decisions are made that we are as informed as possible, and frankly informed on some things that we don't necessarily have the expertise to gather.
Can you tap into expertise that you don't have?
We are, yes, we are trying to, and it's not popular to sit here and talk about money, but that is a big component. Every dollar that we spend on research is a dollar that will come from law enforcement. And with many of our problems, on water problems in the state, lack of law enforcement is usually kind of at the, what we hear about first. In fact, I think that's accurate. I think everyone here would like to see more on water law enforcement. We put every extra expendable dollar into that. So as far as the money that we have for it, it is very limited. We look to Fish and Wildlife, we look to DEQ, and Travis mentioned, DEQ is involved in this turbidity conversation, and we're paying very close attention to that, because water quality, we have a couple scientists, biologists in the Marine Board, but generally that's not what we do. We're a DMD for boats in many ways, not that in some ways, right? So we are looking to our sister agencies, and some of this conversation around fish habitat, we have tried to talk to Fish and Wildlife, like, can you provide us some insight here? We are not fish biologists. It's been met with some mixed results. Some of that's political, some of which I can't even speak to. But the fact that people in this room have engaged, there's, I think, from what I can tell, 3 different universities doing some work on Willamette this year in some way, shape, or form. And I think that's excellent. We're looking to use all that information.
It's great.
Seems to me one project could be to try to fund or have some kind of independent white paper, peer-reviewed white paper on the topic. Because we hear bits and pieces from all these different past research as well as what was presented today. And it seems like one way to move forward is creating a white paper that is not have any one particular stamp from this group, but is an independent. And that could be, there's a university or something like that, and that would not be as expensive, and that would at least pull together all existing data, all the, kind of address all these points to the best of our knowledge. Here's what we know.
Yeah, white papers, I think, are critical. Explain your position and why. Without that level of detail, I don't think you get very far. Try to change the story.
I think he just volunteered, right?
Was that your hand?
Volunteer help. I can bring it up, though. It's a volunteer.
Well, we used to have, so we have the Institute of Natural Resources and Institute of Water and Watersheds, and oftentimes they get contracted by legislature and other entities to put together studies. And they're independent, multidisciplinary science reviews. Some time ago, we used to have the IMST, Independent Multidisciplinary Science Team. I think that was in the Kids Hopper days, and it was reviewed around that time. Anyway, so that, I'm just kind of thinking of something that's going to carry the weight and certainly bring everybody up to date with what we know and don't know. And as Travis said, there's probably a lot of information out there that we can just say, okay, we have enough data on this, and then here's some other ones that we could really ask some questions about and could be potential.
So on that note, I would encourage someone to, I'm sure Representative Reardon would be happy to do it. The legislature has an entire research team where their job is to look up parallel policies and then created and implemented or studied in other states. And so to reach out to the Natural Resources LPRO department of the legislature and ask them to pull together a collective source of all of the different studies or policies that have been made that are similar to this nationwide, and they'd be able to get that sort of information to you. So you at least have a starting point of information that's already been done, so you're reinventing the wheel as little as possible.
And I could ask, Lisa Gaines is the Executive Director for Institute of Natural Resources. It's based on campus, but they have offices here and in Portland. And it's not just an OSU thing, they work with universities and places. But we can ask her what it might cost, who they normally get funding from. I don't know, there's not.
So what is the next step moving forward?
That's a good question. What is the next step moving forward? I know, right? I'm going to do my best to gather up all the M&Ms.
I mean, is this
Right.
a group that's sort of committed to working together on this issue?
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm wondering too, is, what, yeah, I took the words right out of my mouth. What's the next step? What's happening? We have various kind of things going on, but is there a kind of leadership team of this that's going to say, okay, here are the various aspects that we're going to pursue? And that's not
That must be.
Yeah, I know, right? You're a leadership team.
I mean, I think we have, like you were saying, we have all of these,
No,
but people coming from different positions, right? Like,
Yeah.
these fish experts, so I think, so it seems like we have, besides the Department of Fish and Wildlife, I mean, it seems like we have sort of a right group of people here. And how do we move forward, and who's the person with the science background to say this is those people have a conversation.
So you're
on
saying
how to
we need a
collaborate.
research coordinator?
That's you.
Oh,
Yeah, I think you need somebody to continue keeping the information together and keep moving the group forward, because otherwise you're gonna be starting conversations over again.
Right.
Next time you get
Yeah.
together, it's almost starting from ground zero.
I guess that's why I asked if people are interested in the committees moving forward, but trying to get further than they are today. It's just a lot of great information. I didn't get any yeses. Any nods.
No,
we
I
are, I
understand.
think everyone is very committed to moving forward. It would have to be some type of coordinated effort, and who is going to spearhead that, we're not sure, but we will have to figure that out. Yeah, I think that there's some people here that we need to have some conversation with on the phone and nail a few things down and how we could move forward and really get a swell of volunteers to do that.
Yeah, and I think that it also, I mean, Katie has been fantastic, ORSPA has been fantastic in this, but it really needs to be, it can't be an ORSPA-led.
Right, and independent, it has to be like an independent research coordinator that's going to bring these arms together, someone outside of that. And so I think that's what we need to figure out, who can do that, and how we find that person.
I think if you start identifying buckets, right? You got the
Right.
buckets of activity, the science, the legislative aspect of it, fundraising, maybe grants go into fundraising, PR, marketing, those are all different buckets if you're gonna drive an initiative like this, that you're gonna have to at least think through, figure out how you're gonna lead it, staff.
Right. Right.
Probably premature for this meeting, but I think, you've got a pool of people now that are commonly educated, common understanding, common desire to see action taken. That's the big first step.
Yep. Yeah. So,
Well, let's explore some of these. I will, so it's a couple of things that I'll do is I'll talk to a few people and see if I can try to get someone with some time and energy to help with the project on the university side. I'll also talk to Lisa Gaines and Institute of Natural Resources to find out a little bit more about how they go about getting the people together to put together these kind of reports. And, yeah, so I'm going to learn a little bit more on that side.
that would be good. And this last summer has been great because we had two wonderful interns helping us out. We couldn't have done the bit we've done, and, even, I don't know about internships through universities, and if there's even programs with kind of policymaker young people who are interested in that and a bigger picture around that. I just don't, I'm not in that world, so.
Yeah, so the simple answer is, yeah, if there's money, we can hire students.
Okay, yeah.
And we can hire for the summer.
I mean, what would be ideal is to have a graduate student.
Yes.
Because then they really take the reins and
Right.
carry it through.
Yeah, yeah.
Like grads, when you talk about the grad student, it's in the order of 60,000 a year. The other one.
Yeah.
Well, I've had interest in question for just credit. So depending on what you want them to do, granted, you want a graduate student for leading the research, but you don't need a graduate student to chase down legislative issues or whatever. Right? So there's a scale of the way you can do that. But it just comes back to, again, kind of need a planning exercise. Right now that we kind of understand a little bit, the thinking from a science standpoint, the short term and the long term, we start figuring out from a strategy standpoint, what we're going to do with that. How do we make hay with that, so to speak, right? The short term and the long term. So I'm not sure what the answer to that is. But I think we're gonna keep figuring that out.
So when you had this intern, did you then work with the university to develop a sort of
I just had
plan,
to give them a list.
a lesson plan or a curriculum, I don't know what you would call it, but, you know, criteria that the university needs to have to give them credit?
Yes and
You
no.
know, logging hours and
We just went through
tasks.
roles,
you know,
or
what
why I
types
went
of
to skills.
Oh, great.
For what I do.
It's like 3 of these and then each individual ones.
Yeah.
I usually use that
Instructor. But yeah, that's good experience.
Okay, so it's kind of weird design, inside that, so what they want.
Thanks, Travis.
Yeah, do it about it.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Sorry, I got scrambled.
I think we'll just run out of energy. At least I have. It's a lot to take in, process for sure.
So I guess, maybe from here is Katie the point of contact, and if she keeps stepping out every time I say something.
That's exactly how we assign you.
Okay, sounds good. So Katie, so I feel like we've had some debrief. Maybe let's let this kind of sink in and think about it. How about we get in touch with Katie on some ideas for next steps and what we might pull together? And I can envision maybe at least one piece of that could be a little kind of planning meeting of briefing and fleshing out a little bit more of what are some different next steps that can be done. And like you said, I love your buckets: science, legislative, brand, PR, marketing. I mean, those are kind of thinking around, well, what can we develop some teams around?
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Hopefully you won't get that Friday afternoon traffic if you head back up.
That's true, we are.
Good luck with you.
Thank you for all the ideas today. My goodness. You know, we're getting kind of an old group, and we needed someone else. You know, I don't, but I'm going So I pulled together and did this for us, of course, for this year. So we had, I had.
You've been elected.
Letters to
I want to. I'll help you.
with some numbers to.
But I think that this is a good start because people.
And that helped. And so, yeah, I'm just looking at how I come back. This is not our situation, people are talking about, are you in the zone, you know, like, so I'm like, okay, we got nothing.
So much, you added so much to this.
Well, I look forward to working together. It's gonna be something that's a process, so, yeah, I look forward to working with you guys. Oh, sorry to interrupt.
So, it's just like you say, is getting organized, getting some people attached to part of the project. And we've been doing it all together. Okay, good. So what we did is, I had ORSPA, and then I called our I educated them. There's been 3 years. Everyone, we would go through that, so I was the secretary and it was not, it was grassroots all the way. For the voter education part, 2022 did not expand
For me, it's hard to, a little bit, yeah, because, that's the thing that is really process.
It's hard for that trick. Well, the thing about that is, we bought our membership.
And it's
Kayaking all summer, huh?
I know, yeah. It's a sad thing.
All right, well, we will, so let's regroup on, I can
yeah.
plan a time to come up and
We
put in
had
some.
shut down for 2.5 years.
Yeah, if,
I don't
are
know, we
you
need to figure it out.
Nothing's.
I know.
We're turning into pumpkins.
by any kind of like stretch
Possibly,
of time.
possibly, yeah, I could think
Okay.
so. My own research going on, that's why
I know, I feel so like mad.
take a weekend. I know, I hear you. I'll look at, yeah, I'll look at, you know,
The next day,
okay,
just,
come up with
we
what needs to be
thought,
done, then I literally could do it on the
crazy.
weekend.
It's like,
And I may just
I
have
think
to.
The two really pressing things are, we need a staff gauge.
and we just thought maybe give us some
And then a staff gauge.
But then we found out it was hard.
Those are two, like,
It was the engineer.
Well, I could, let's look at our schedule, and I can plan for staff meetings that are highly instruments. And the other ones we can figure out.
Okay, okay, that's
All right.
yeah, if
Just
you,
like-
it's sometime next week.
Yeah, just about, it's just not Friday.
Okay, that's fine.
Either Monday or Thursday.
Okay, yeah. Wednesday, Thursday,
Thanks for your card. I will get some information to you in case you want to write that.
We have the staff.
Yeah, our daughter's gonna go over.
Yeah, I understand the concern. I think those four all make it. It's gonna be so
Yeah.
box and this ship channel.
We have a warehouse. But yeah, the truck's over there, it's in the warehouse.
It's speed, especially with three other friends.
It's a quad, so it's 4 cars. It's this warehouse. We have to move each other's cars around to get out.
Are you able to,
Purchase. But now it's certain store.
and I'll grab some with,
Okay.
Okay.
should we just like, those eyes?
Yeah, I can do it.
If you said trout.
But it's just basically.
Wish I had.
Scrap.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of speed.
I just wrote that down, that we really should have a turbine meeting, just with a data line attached to it, so we could get, constant record of these. Yeah, so that was,
What's going on?
I took the meeting today, I was like, oh yeah, we could do that.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, guys, good to see you again.
See you there.
Everybody else?
Kelly says hello.
Thanks for the input, I really appreciate that.
Everybody's kind of in.
Yeah.
I was wondering,
Sounds like everything else.
we're working on this project that is starting
Yeah. The big ones you have to cut them up, or else you can't use.
That made
It's the same
the situation that they were very much on board, and no issues.
Did you really?
I was wondering if we try to do this case to get a lot of forward understandings. We had this conversation, but they are not in this position. Before they proposing or trying to instruct, they only have a conversation with them to convince them and have a policy, will have forever resistance. But if they are part of the conversation because they acknowledge that there is a problem, then everybody wants to have kind of a
One thing I really want to caution people about is
Oh,
there's an exception that all non-noise orders now. That's not the case. If you go to the gorge today, you'll see 600 people from all over the world out in rough water, in kayaks, on stand. Right. And I have teammates who go out and actively seek wake surfers so that they can practice downwinding on their wakes. So things that are really non-noise activities.
I remember when.
Well, I think the other thing that
Good, that's great. Hey, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I know. Yes, I do. Anyway, so happy to be in his presence, so, yeah.
Thank you for coming. We'll hopefully chat soon, or you'll chat with Renee at least.
Did you also want the fruit and stuff put away, or I don't really? I don't
Yeah, the
think-
fruit
I don't
was
have very big
ours,
boxes, so.
but we have the cooler.
You want the salad, it's, I mean, lettuce, it's really well.
Yeah, someone will take it.
Yeah, I don't know how long you have it.
Yeah, someone will take it. So the fruit salad is somewhere over here.
Yeah, it's over on the table. I didn't, I just have a bunch of these like big square boxes.
Pedro, I noticed you have a lot of students.
Good, thank you. Try. Good to meet you. Thank you very much for coming. Good.
What we could do is to bring it downstairs and leave it. I will talk to the girl in the office.
Joanne wanted to.
Joanne, okay.
She was asking for those back because she's thinking she could use them
I-
again for
yes.
another event.
Well, because we are going to get together, and
Yes.
I'm sure of it.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
sir.
At the next dinner party.
Those are just.
I didn't even know you were saying.
All right, what do you need me to do? Here, what do you see?
Nothing.
We filled our pockets.
Okay, you already did.
Good. And I was just telling Pedro, I said I saw there were a ton of students